Well, hello again everybody. Those that have been following on the journey, here's another little update on the van build, and for those new, welcome. This will probably be the first video I upload to the YouTube channel, which is called the Hasty Wombat. So yeah, you can check it out there or across my different socials, but let's go have a look at the van. So as you can see, she's an Iveco, and it's a big one. This is the long wheelbase extra high roof, the 5170 model. So yep, big high roof, and she's a big girl. Right, so a little bit of an introduction and what the plan is, a quick overview for the van. So creating a camper van for me to go traveling in. Had some issues with financing a new house to do with my veteran payments and pension and that kind of stuff, which I won't go into right now. But yeah, so I wanted to buy a house, but couldn't get the finance for it. So I was trying to think of I didn't want to keep renting where I was in an apartment. So yeah, I was tossing up some different ideas, and I was a little bit cranky at the bank. So I've been watching YouTube and seeing these different guys and girls and couples and stuff building vans and hitting the road, and I was like, like if I don't have to be tied down here, maybe I should go do some travel. So I'm not locked down for work. Obviously, I get my veteran payments and stuff like that. So I'm not locked down to a location. I do go and help out with the veteran mentors guys each school holidays. So I was like, yeah, let's maybe do some travel. The end of the pandemic, or we're coming towards the end of the pandemic for COVID, and travel's opening back up a lot more. So I thought about maybe overseas, but that would prevent me to come and work. And it's just, it's not as easy to travel backwards and forwards and cost a lot more money. So I looked at some domestic travel, and there's plenty of places in Australia I haven't seen yet. So yeah, wanted to go and check them out. And I thought, well, how can I do that? And buying a van and making a camper seemed like a pretty good idea. Like I said, I was watching people on YouTube do it, and I thought that's maybe something I can do. So I watched a bunch, and I saw Max from Max and Oki building a big Iveco van. And once I decided that I didn't want a little small van, which was the first idea, just get something small, I found Max and Oki's channel, and I was like, that is what I want. So yeah, heavily inspired by Max's build, and loved that channel. So yeah. I started looking for an Iveco van. Loved the idea of the dual wheel rear and being on a light truck chassis. It's a bit more heavy duty than just your average van. Means I can go a lot more places, and yeah, I just like the heavy duty stuff, so that was right up my alley. Started looking for a van. It was becoming hard to find that particular model, or this particular model, sorry. COVID tax was affecting everything, including camper vans and vans. So I was looking, and I found this one in Sydney, but it already had a build in it. It was quite expensive, a little bit more. I set myself a budget of about 100,000 Australian dollars, and the van was 80, so it was 8/10 of my budget already. It had a build in it, and I didn't like the build, so I kind of just discredited that one, and I was like, yeah, it's the right van model, but doesn't suit my purposes. So I discarded that one, and started looking around, and I really couldn't find anything else. So I went back and looked at it between Christmas and New Year's at the online ad, and I just sent the guy Ash a message and just asked for some more information, and we got chatting. Yeah, it was the right model. Yes, it had a build in it, but nothing that I couldn't strip out and change. But he asked me if I knew much about batteries, and to be honest, I didn't. Electrical stuff is not my forte. I have a very basic understanding of it. Anyway, we got chatting about batteries, and he told me what was in it, which is that big white box back there. And so I googled it, and I was like, it's a $12,000 battery, Australian dollars. I was like, 12,000. Oh, what kind of battery is this? So I started doing a bit more research, and I was like, holy crap, that's a big battery. Looked at the other components that he'd installed, and he'd spent a lot of money on the electrical components. Now, that's a BYD 15.4 kilowatt hour battery. It's designed for like a 3-bedroom home or a shed, or like a sort of like a permanent setup that needs a big power supply to run for days, weeks. So if we convert that into amp hours, which is the most common battery rating for camper vans, that's over 1200 amp hours of battery in that pack. So a lot, which again suited me. I like the heavy duty. I like to go above and beyond with a lot of my stuff. So I was like, yep, all right, I'm really looking at this van more seriously now. So I decided to book a flight down to Sydney. I was in Brisbane at the time for Christmas, having just finished the Veteran Mentors camp, having Christmas with the family, and I booked a flight and flew down to Sydney to check it out, and decided to do a deal, and I drove away with the van the next day after some slight minor banking issues, but we got that sorted, and I was away. Drove it back up to Queensland, got stuck at the border for a night with all the lockdown stuff, but got through, camped in it for a couple of nights, one night at Byron Bay, one night just south of the border, and then back into Brisbane, and I drove it all the way back up to Townsville over the next week where I live. So started off with a nearly 3,000 kilometre drive, I reckon, by the time I got it home. So that was early January, and I decided, I'm going to strip this out. I don't like the previous build that Ash put in it. He'd spent a lot of money on electricals, but the interior design was mostly IKEA stuff, and just wasn't my style, and it was very temporary, not rigidly attached to the van. So I pulled all that out over a couple of weeks. All the plumbing, all the water tanks underneath, everything, all the electrical, everything come out. The only thing left is the battery, pretty much, and the insulation. Now the insulation that you can see is going to stay. So it actually had another 3 or 4 layers on top of that, and it was super thick. It put a lot of insulation in here. Done some Alpine type stuff, so yeah, that's what he wanted, and to me it was a bit overkill. And it was bare, so you could see the bare silver insulation was his interior. I didn't want to go that way. I wanted something a lot more aesthetic to look at, and just be a bit more hard wearing and whatnot. So I stripped most of the insulation out, which to be honest has taken a long time. You've seen some of my earlier stuff, the way that Ash attached it is, let's see if we can show something. It's only really left on the roof now. That is black butyl rubber tape, and Ash, the guy, the previous owner had put that between every layer of insulation. He pretty much used it to attach anything in the van, and so it was stuck everywhere. When I was pulling this apart in January here in North Queensland, January, February, it's super hot up here. If there's any Americans watching, it's like Florida, so super humid, quite hot, and that stuff just dripped everywhere. It wasn't solid at all. I was getting covered in it. I looked like something from the Venom movie, and yeah, it took me a lot longer to strip this out. So it's now June, so it's been 6 months, and today I think I've got it to the point where I'm ready. I've finished cleaning it out. I've stripped it back. I've used mineral turps to clean all these panels up here because they looked like the roof. I've cleaned it as much as I can, back to the point where I'm happy to start the build. So yeah, as you can see, she's empty except for the battery. The insulation's in the wall. I've pulled these ones out because there's probably a window going to go there. We've got some skylights already put in. What else else we've got in the van already. So we've got a fan here, electric fan. It opens and closes automatically and with the rain, so if it rains it'll close. But yeah, so that's the basic layout of the van already, ready for me to start my build. So I'll cover my plans in a further video, but I just wanted to show you. Plenty of room above me. I'm 6'1", so I wanted something that could stand up nice and easily, and so yeah, it'll be a little mini home on wheels, and who knows where the road will take me. Anyway, I'm Morgan. This is the Hasty Wombat and my van build series, so give us a like, subscribe if you want to, check me out. Like I said, this is the first video. I'll do more to come. Alright guys, thanks, see you later.